Hey guys, it's Hurley again, and we're getting ready to do a septic here today on our 4th lot. So I was just going to show you guys a little bit of what I've done. I know on my last video that we did with a septic system, it was kind of all sped up, so I want to maybe go further in detail for some of you guys that really didn't understand what I was doing or how I got my measurements. So I'm just going to show you real quick. This is a 1,000 gallon infiltrator tank, and we're going to do a quick measurement. We're going to say 6 feet by 11. So usually what I do is I put these scratch marks in the ground. I actually had stakes right here. I measured out, squared everything off. My bed is going to be up here on these 2 stakes right here. Let me get a little closer so you can see it. So I got a stake right here. And right here, all this is square. The bed goes down there. The bed is 75 feet long. The mobile home is going to set right here. It's a 16 by 50. It's going to be setting right here. We poured the footers the other day. But anyways, once I put my stakes in the ground down here, all I did was just take the backhoe in and I just scratched me off my corners. That way I kind of know where I'm at. And I'll just dig all this out. And instead of going, like I said, we measured 5.5 feet wide on that. So roughly 6 feet. Let me show you real quick. Sometimes when you dig, you're going to get a little narrow the deeper you go. So I went 8 feet. So we're going to say 1 foot on each side is going to work. And then on the length, it was 11 feet. So so 11 feet is right here at the end of my scratch mark. So I pretty much know that I'm going to go an extra foot on each end of that, so that's going to be a total of 13 feet. So whatever size your tank is going to be, you want to go 2 feet more than the length and the width. So to know the depth of how deep you need to dig your hole for your septic system, the way I usually do it is come right here. I measure the height of the tank, which is 56 inches. After I measure the height, you know you're going to have 1 foot of riser above it. Okay, so which is 68 inches. We don't want the ground level with the lid, so we're going to take 3 inches from it. So it's going to be 55 inches, or 65 inches, I'm sorry. So we got 56 inches. We add 12 inches for the riser, and we want it 3 inches out of the ground, so we've got to subtract that. So it's going to be 65 inches. So that's going to give us our dimension for digging the hole for the septic. Once we get it in the ground, I'll give you some more measurements and dimensions and how we do things down here. Some people would probably not know this if they weren't used to seeing it a lot, but you have to know which side of your tank is the inlet where the raw sewage goes into the tank, and then you have to know which side is your outlet. So if you look here, you got a spot right here, a spot right here you can cut out, and here. And you also have 3 on the other end. 1 here, 1 in the front, 1 on the opposite side of this one. So you have 6 holes you can drill off of. So my mobile home is going to set to my right here. The tank is going to be right here. Okay, so I'm going to put an inlet pipe right here. So I cut this hole out. Okay, make sure before you do any cutting on this, you know which side's the inlet on the tank and which side's the outlet, and you know generally where your pipe is going to be going in at. All right, so right here you have an outlet wrote on the top, so you know that the 3 sides on here is your outlet, and you don't have to put a hole in each one of them, just for one to go to your D-box. And you come to the back side here, and this is going to be your inlet. Just make sure that you have your outlet pointing towards your leach bed. Hey guys, so I'm inside the tank right now, and if I'm echoing, well, sorry. I don't even know if I can't even hear me if I put the phone outside. But anyways, this is going to be the only thing that's going to brace the top of this And I do run my lawnmower over top of it. It's just a little 19 horsepower riding mower. And it doesn't seem to give any at all, but I'll kind of give you an idea of what it looks like in here. So if you don't have a hole saw, you can always take a jigsaw and just put you a mark in here, a circle. You can use a protractor or whatever, and then just you can come in here and cut it out with a jigsaw. And you got plenty of room to work around, so you'll be good on that. You can do the same thing on that side. Inlet is always higher than the outlet. Always remember that, guys. So why I had to jump in here in the first place is because here's where your baffles are. You usually put them inside the tank. So it should come with 2 rubber grommets. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, 2 rubber grommets. And 2 baffles. One for your inlet, one for your outlet. And I think a set of screws for your lids and your risers. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I went ahead and turned the water on. We're going to get this thing filled up. I'm probably going to fill it up all the way to the, right there at that bevel at the outlet pipe. So that's where the water is going to go before I actually start backfilling. I don't want this to move any at all. And once we get probably about a couple 100 gallon of water in it, I'm probably going to go ahead and check for level one more time just to make sure that nothing's adjusted or sunk in or settled or whatever. But one thing I was going to show you, if you guys are using a tractor or whatever, that's just a ratchet strap that I have tied to the middle of that rope. So all these Infiltrator, let me turn this tractor off real quick.
Well, I reckon it's a crime to pay more than a dime.
Oh yeah, by the way, I busted my door. Unfortunate. Yeah, I about cried like a baby. But anyway, that's another story. Okay, if you look right here, hopefully it's not too confusing. You have these bright orange nylon ropes tied to the tank. You got 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got 4 of them, 1 in each corner. And so what I've done is I just brought my rope, that yellow rope, right through this lower left, went to the upper right, come down to the lower right, went up to the upper left, and then came back to the first one I went through. When I got to the lower left, I just square knotted the rope. Then at the center it forms an X, and I put the ratchet strap around it. I put the ratchet strap around the X, just under it, and then over top of my bucket, and picked it up. All right, now the water has filled up to about 1/5 of the way, so I'm gonna go ahead and check some level, make sure everything's still settling in good and it's still level. Okay, what time this is filling up, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the Easy Snap risers. I have 12-inch risers, 1 foot, and they're a little bit different than the old ones, but I'm just going to kind of show you guys how to set that up real quick. Basically, the way this works is you have these little lips or tongues that's going to go onto the hole on the tank. You'll snap right in them. So usually what you want to do is put your knee, and you got this down, you'll put your knee on this side and then maybe one spread out over there. Just work your hands around and push it down. If it doesn't go, take your rubber mallet and just peck in between those notches, and those bottoms will snap in. These lips or tongues, they go in between these grooved areas. Like, let me see if I can do this. Right here and right here. Focus is messing me up. But if you get confused, if you look over top of those little notched areas, you'll see a little pilot hole for your screw. And I'll show you down in here what that's for. So that packet of screws that you get in the inside the tank here, they'll go down in here, so you can't really mess it up. Right here's the tongue, then you have a pilot hole right here for those screws to go into the tank. Then you have another tongue. Just line those screws up right over top of those grooved areas, or teeth, or whatever you want to call it, and it'll snap right in. So this is what it's going to look like. Those, they pretty much set in there in place, so you don't have to line anything up. Just once you get your baffle on, inlet and outlet, slap your riser on, put your lid on, and finish backfilling. Here in a minute, I'm gonna start backfilling this a little bit. We got half a tank already, I believe. Okay, maybe not. We got a quarter of a tank. But I can go ahead and put a little bit in there right now. I believe we're gonna be good. Pretty much what I'm doing is using the tractor, getting about a bucket load, sometimes two, getting it about 1 foot to 2 feet thick. Around the edges, need to fill in a little bit over there. But once I get 1 foot to 2 foot thick, I'm using the tamping stick. I'm just tamping every bit of it. One thing that I did do is I used the back side of the rake, and if you see these grooves right here, they're on the bottom as well. And when I put my first load in, I run the back side of the rake, the handle part, down in between the grooves and pushed out a lot of dirt down in there, so make sure you do that. Not sure if you guys have to tamp it every foot or two. That's what I'm doing, just trying to get it evenly filled in. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of tamping on this side over here, so I'm going to try to find some fine dirt to put down in there, that way to find its way between the cracks. Yeah, I'm going to keep filling up. The tank is just about full. You can tell I like about 6 more inches bend to the bottom of the outlet hole. So, yeah, let's keep getting at it. This poly seal is a little different, I guess that's what you call it. So it has this like sealing area here. I don't know if you can see that real good. Focus is in. But anyways, so basically all you gotta do is cut out your 4-inch diameter for your hole. And I noticed it's, like I said, it's a little different than last time. But we got this little tab here that says 4-inch. So what I'm gonna do is cut this tab out, kind of. Let me show you here real quick. Okay, nothing's happening, so let's look at the back side. Okay, it's all concrete, so let me bust that out real quick. So now I got that tab right here, so just cut that little area out right there. And come in from the back side. See if you can see it right there. Now that tab gets pulled around counterclockwise. So when I pull this back here, I'm gonna pull in that direction. So I'm gonna show you real quick, if you can see it. There we go. That's cool. There we go. And we'll do all the sides. Like for instance, I have 3 individual rows. So I'm going to need to open up. This is a 4-hole D-box. So I'm going to have to open up all 4 hoses. So the inlet, which is right here. Then I got an outlet to the right, outlet to the left, outlet to the front. Okay, so I'm going to get all those done. And then we're going to set it down on this little small 2-inch pad. Okay, I'm back. So I kind of got a little ahead and didn't record. I left my camera, so I'm using my phone. So that's why I'm not being able to record while I work. But anyways, so what we've done, we filled the tank on up a little bit. We have all the pipes going in. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have. I have the pipes going in. I have the pipes going into the infiltrator chambers. So what I've done now is I put these speed levels on the inside of the 4-inch PVC. And what you do is you let the water come in from the tank and just make sure that it's coming through your inlet, which you can see it's dripping in. And then we come over here to our speed level and we find out which one. Hold on, hopefully it's focusing. We look and see which one's going to leak first. So whichever one leaks first, we want to bring the other ones down to it. So I'm going to give you a little quick example real quick. So let me turn this one up like that, and we will turn this one up. Okay. Alright. So as you can see, there's no water going in here and no water going in here. But you come over here and you have a flow of water coming in. So what I want to do is I want to start on this one or that one, either one, it doesn't matter. I just chose this one because of the angle. And I'm going to turn this one down. Turn it a little bit more counterclockwise, and it's going to bring that little open hole down towards the bottom to where water will start going in. So right now we're just about level with the water. So go down a little bit past it. And now we got water flowing. So now we're going to look over here. We still have water flowing here. So you can actually give this a minute just to make sure that both sides are going to flow evenly, because you may have this in a little too low right here, and this side over here will stop flowing. But I think we're pretty close right here. Everything still looks like a good run. So now I'm going to work on this side. There we go. And you can pretty much see how that works. So check. We're still flowing. We're still flowing. And we're still flowing. And you want to try to make sure that each flow has a fairly similar type of flow rate. I know there's no way of actually truly measuring it. I'm sure there is, but you know, I don't have the tools to do that. But anyways, before I got to that point, something that you guys missed was after I cut the hose out on my poly. There's 2 ways of doing this. You can actually put the end cap on the chamber and then slide this whole section up on your pipe, or you can put the cap on, slide it up, make sure you got about 2 inches of extra pipe on the left side of the cap, and then you want to put your chamber in afterwards. So just to go ahead and give you a quick little look at what I've got done. I've got 12 chambers in right now, all of them leveled out, which we have a laser level, and I'm also using a stick level. So you can see right here I have 12, like I said, 4 on each side. And I'm going to show you guys real quick how to put these together. She's the best worker I got. Hey now. I'm Hurley, okay? Alright, so this is a very simple setup. If you look on your chamber, let's get this pulled out here. If you look on your chamber right here, you'll see that it says suggested direction of chamber installation. It points in this direction, okay? So if we start at the D-box or the PVC pipe or the tank, whichever, that is going to be the back side of this arrow. So your D-box, tank, or PVC pipe will be back there. And you're going to install in this direction. So as you lay it out, you're going to be working in this direction, coming back this way, back towards me, which is the way it shows. And the reason why they want you to do it like that is, let's say that's hooked up to the D-box at the PVC pipe down there on that end. Let's get another piece here. There's a locking mechanism on this. If you see, there's a little hole cut out on the back of this big high back. And right here, we don't have the high back, but we do have a little tongue in here. This tongue is actually going to go inside of this slot right here. Best way to do it is pick it straight up like this at like a 45-degree angle. And this is kind of hard to do. Alright, there we go. And I'm just going to let it fall down on top of that little high back. Right there. Now as you come down, as you work your hand down, you'll pull towards you a little bit and you'll feel it snap into place. And then you can lay it on down. Just to make sure you're snapped in, you'll see the lip is right there now. And that's how you install it. And you just continue doing it until you meet the code of your health department, and you'll be good to go.